guys, welcome to my channel, and today I want to teach you guys how to play piano. For those who are learning for the first time, this is your very best video. This is the best video for you, and you can learn with this. Also, those who have started learning piano, you can use this video to advance your skills in piano. Today I'm going to teach you how to play piano, and for you to play piano, you first of all have to know the number of keys that we have on the piano here. As you can see, okay, we're going to talk about keys, and that is one. And two, we're going to talk about notations for every key. Number three, we are going to talk about chords. And the number of chords that we're going to talk about here are major chords, minor chords, and maybe diminished chords. And maybe any other type of chord that I'll touch on. But I'll major on the major, minor, and the diminished ones. And so after learning key and the notes for all keys, we'll be learning about chords. Then after chords, we'll be learning about chord progression. Chord progression just means that you'll be moving from which chord to which chord to which chord, so that you make a song. So let us start with the key. Like if you look at the keyboard here, you'll see that we are having the black and white keys. Yeah, black and white keys. They are grouped, and if you look at the black keenly, you'll realize that they are grouped into twos, threes, twos, three, twos, three, twos, three, just like that. So if we start here, the farthest end here we have got this key. We call it key C. This is C. This is C sharp. This is D. This is D sharp. This is E. This is F. This is F sharp. This is G. G sharp. A sharp. B, then C. And as you might have noted, we started with C and I ended with C here, which means that I've just repeated the same thing, the same C here. These and these are the same. So this is how the keys are arranged. They are arranged in octave, like an octave for a C. For key C here, the octave starts from C and it ends here at B. That is one full octave. Then the next octave also starts from C to B. The next one starts again at C to B. Just like that. It's just a repetition. These things are just repeated. Like if you look at this is D, this is D sharp. It is the same as this, and it is the same as this, as this, as this. Take G. Take G. G is here. G is also here. Also here. Also here. Also here. It's just repeated like that. And so that is all for keys. How many keys do we have? We have got 12 keys. Yeah? We have got 12 keys, and the keys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is for a full octave. 12 keys. Because if you go to the next, you'll be starting like repeating the same thing, because this is C and we started here with C. Okay, so let us talk about what the notations for all these keys. We have got major notes and minor notes. Okay, and how many major notes do we have? Because all these keys now are like notes. Let's just call them notes. For any key that you choose to play, you'll be playing through notes, and these notes there are major ones, and there are also minor ones. So like major ones are usually 7. Okay, like let's say for example you are playing on key C. Let me just take maybe F sharp, which most people play. This is F sharp. Okay, and all the notes for F sharp, if you count from F sharp to this, to F sharp, or maybe to this, that is 12, because that is one whole octave for that key. Yeah. So there are 12 in this one octave. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12. So in these 12, seven are major. 7 are major notes. Then the rest are minor. So how do you get these major ones? Because for you to play on something, maybe you're doing soloing with the piano, you'll have to follow through the major notes. How do you identify the major notes? This is how you do it. Okay. 1 is usually the key that you play. If you choose that you want to play on key F sharp, like for our case here, and as an example, I'm using F sharp. This is key F sharp, and we are using it as our example. If we want to play on this key, and we want to identify its notes, the notes for this key, and especially the major notes for this key, we will use this formula. We will say that this is our 1, because it is the key that we are playing. It is our 1. It is the first note. Then the second note, for you to go to the second note, you pass through a minor one, a minor note, which is, we call it a half a note, or semitone. We call it semitone. So if you're here as your 1, this one, the next one here is a semitone, which means it is 1.5. Okay? Then this is 2. This is 2.5. Okay? Then this is 3. Then I want you to note this, that we are here at 3, and when we are going to 4, there is no a half a note between 3 and 4. You have to note that there is no a half a note between 3 and 4. So when we are here at 3, we go directly to this as our 4. Okay? Then when we are going to 5, there is a half a note, like the other ones. Because we are here at 4, this is 4.5, then this is 5. Okay? Then this is 5.5, then this is 6. This is 6.5, then this is 7. Then because our notes ends at 7, the next one will be 1. So between 7, because this is 7, and we are supposed to be going to 1. So because this is our 7, between 7 and 1 in the next octave, because the next one after 7 is usually found in the next octave. So between 7 and 1 in the next octave, there is no semitone. So if you're here as your 7, the next key is your 1. So there is no half a note between them. So just to make it a bit more clear, if you are between 3 and 4, there is no semitone. There is no half a note, I mean. And between 7 and 1 in the next octave also, there is no semitone. But the rest, I've got semitones between them. Like between 1 and 2, there is a semitone between them. Okay. When you are at 1 and you're going to 2, you have to pass this as a semitone, you go to 2. Then you are at 2, you want to go to 3, you pass this as a semitone, you go to 3. Then when you are at 3, you want to go to 4. There is no semitone, so you go directly to this. So when you are at 4, you want to go to 5, you pass this as your semitone, you go to 5. When you're at 5, you want to go to 6, the 6th note, you will pass this as your semitone, you go to 6th. And when you are at the 6th note, you want to go to the 7th, you pass this as your semitone, you go to 7. And when you are at 7, you want to go to 1, you do not pass any, you just go directly to this as your 1. That is very clear. So choose any key and use that same formula. Like maybe, for example, I usually use this. I use this key. This is key F. The other one that I was using here was F sharp. I usually play F. So let us try doing the same thing on F. If we are playing on F, it means that this is F. F is our 1. Then the next, when you want to go to the 2nd note, you pass this as your semitone, you go to 2. Then you pass this as a half, then you go to 3. Then when you're going to 4, you go directly here. You don't pass any. That is 4. When you're going to 5, you pass this, you go to 5. When you're going to 6, you pass this, you go to 6. When you're going to 7, you pass this, you go to 7th. Then when you're going to 1, you do not pass any. You go directly to this as your 1. And it is the same as this 1 that we started with. It is the same as this one on the next octave and this one on the next octave. And so that's all for notations for every key. You can use that same formula to find major notes for any key that you choose to play. And so I want to teach you how to play chords. And for chords, chords is what we will use to make a song now. So for chords, we have major chords, minor chords. I'm talking about what I'm going to touch on. There are so many types of chords, but I'm going to touch on major, minor, and diminished, because I'm going to talk about chords on any key. Chords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7. Yeah. Chords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7. And I want you to note that chord 1 is always a major chord. I'm going to show you how to create these major chords and minor chords and the diminished chord. Chord 1 is usually a major chord. Chord 4 is usually a major chord. Chord 5 is usually a major chord. Then the rest are all minor chords except chord 7, which is a diminished chord. Okay, I'm going to show you how we create them. And first, before I forget this, what is a chord? A chord is just about a group of notes. Like I said, note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7, or maybe, and there are halves between them. You join them, like you press, you hold them. I mean, you hold more than 3 or more. I mean, 3 or more notes. You hold them together to make some musically pleasant sound, like some musically relevant sound, harmony, like, you know. So that is what a chord means. A chord means just you hold 3 or more chords, 3 or more notes. Okay, you hold them together. So let us talk about major chords first. Major chords are made up of the first, the third, and the fifth notes. Okay, like for example, for this key that I usually play, we said this is 1, a half, 2, a half, 3, 4, a half, 5, a half, 6, a half, 7, then 1. So we're going to hold the first, the third, and the fifth to make a major chord. Okay? If you hold it like this, you say that this is 1, then we are looking for 3, then 5, so that we hold them together. This is 1, this is a half, this is 2, a half, this is 3. So we've gotten 3, let us hold it also. Yeah, then this is 3, this is 4 and a half, then this is 5. So we've gotten 5, 5 is here. So we hold them all together like that. That is what makes what? Makes a major chord. So we are touching on the major chords first, and maybe later we'll talk about the minor ones. Okay, and I said chord 1 is usually a major chord, chord 4 is usually a major chord, chord 5 is usually a major chord. Okay, so let's go to 4, which is also a major chord. 4 is here. This is our 1, isn't it? If this is our 1, you count 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, 4. Okay? So this is our fourth note. So we are making a chord for this fourth note. Making a chord for this fourth note means that we're going to use this key, the fourth key here, the fourth note here. We're going to use it as our first in that chord that we're going to create. We're going to use it as our first note. Okay? So we say this is 1, then a half, then 2 and a half, then 3. So we've gotten 1 and 3. We hold them like this. Then this is 4. Then this is a half. Then this is 5. So we've gotten 1, 3, and 5. So you hold them together and you say that is a major chord, a major fourth chord. That is the fourth chord in our key, the key that we were playing, key F. And let us make the fifth chord. Making the fifth chord means that we're going to count from the key that we were playing. This is the key that we were playing. So you start counting from here. You say this is 1, a half, 2, a half, 3, no a half, 4, a half, 5. So this is the fifth note. We're going to use it as our first in the chord that we're going to make. Okay? So you say that this is 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 3. So we've gotten 1 and 3. Let us hold them. Then 4, then a half, then 5. So you hold it like this. Like I said, that a major chord, you form a major chord by holding the first, the third, and the fifth. And we've gotten them using that formula. We've gotten them here. So you hold them together, press them together to make that sound. So already we've gotten the first chord, which was here, then the fourth chord, which was here, then the fifth chord, which is here. Okay? So that is all for major chords. And that is mostly what you're going to use mostly in our practice here, because we're going to touch on just very basic techniques of playing piano. So we're going to measure on the major ones, which are the first, the fourth, and the fifth chords. And so let us touch a little on a minor chord. How do we make a minor chord? Like I said, chord 1 is a major one, chord 4 is a major one, chord 5 is a major one. Then the rest are minor ones, except 7, which is the last one in that order. And it is usually It is usually a diminished chord. And I'm going to show you how to create that diminished chord. So number 2, we're going to chord 2, because chord 2 is a minor chord. Let us do it. Chord 2 is here because we were playing on key F. This is our key F. You have to mark that. So you look for the second note, and that is where you're going to begin creating your second chord. So this is our 1.5, then this is 2. So this is where this is the beginning point, the starting point, where we're going to draw our, or where we're going to create our second chord, which is a minor chord. So first of all, let us make it like we are making a major chord. A major chord we create by pressing on or holding the first, the third, and the fifth notes. So let us take this as our 1, then 1.5, 2, 2.5, then 3. So we've gotten 1 and 3. Then we need 5 now. This is 4.5. Then this is 5. So we've gotten 1, 3, and 5. When you hold them like that, they make that sound. But it is not our second chord still, because it is still a major chord. I want to show you how to make it a minor chord. We make this chord a minor chord by bringing the third one. This is the third note. You bring it back by a half a note. A half a note means you bring it here. Okay? When it is here, you bring it here. So it is now what? A minor chord. If you hold it like this, the first, third, and fifth, it is a major chord. But if you hold it like the first, then a minor third here, then the fifth, that is a minor chord now. Okay? So we've gotten that is number 2, because we say that number 2, number 3, number 6, number 6 are what? Are minor chords. And this is number 2. It is a minor chord. That's why I have brought this back here to make it a minor chord. So choose any other key, number 3 and number 6, which are minor chords, and use that same formula to find them. Okay. Then let me touch on maybe because of time. Let me touch on the 7th chord, which is usually a diminished chord. How do we make a diminished chord? Let us first of all make it a major chord, the seventh chord. For us to find the 7th chord, we have to find the 7th note first. The 7th note on our key, the key that we are playing. This is the key that we are playing on. Okay, so you're going here as this is 1.5, 2.5, 3, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7. So this is the 7th what? This is the 7th note. So we're going to use this to make our 7th chord. And the 7th chord, as I said, it is not a major chord, it is not a minor chord, it is a diminished chord. So let us first of all make it a major chord first. Here, you say 1.5, 2, okay, 1/2, 3. So we've gotten 1 and 3, then 4, then 1/2, then 5. So we've gotten this. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this back, the third and the fifth. Both the third note and the 5th note, we're going to bring them back by a 1/2 note each. Like this is the major one, isn't it? Because I'm holding the first, the third, and the 5th. So I'm going to bring both the third and the 5th note. I'm going to bring them back by a 1/2 note each. Like this one I bring here, this one I bring here. So this is the 7th chord. It is a diminished chord. It is a diminished chord because I brought back the third and the 5th notes by a 1/2 note each. Okay, so that is the 7th chord on this key. So for you to play a song, for you to make a song with these chords, you have to do what we call chord progression. Chord progression just means that you are going to play from which chord to which chord to which chord to which chord in an order. Okay, so let us touch on some of the most common chord progressions. Some of the most common chord progressions are like one which we usually use for some common worship songs, like for example, which song? Oh, ni wewe, ni wewe Bwana, ni wewe, ni wewe Bwana. Yeah, that song. You can the chord progression for that song is usually 1, 4, 5. No, 1, 4, 1, 5, which means that you'll be going from chord 1, which was here. This is the chord 1 that we made. Chord 1. Then you go to 4. 4 is here. Then you come back to 1. Then you go to 5. Then 1. Then 4. You're going back to 1. Then 5. So the chord progression. So that chord progression we call it 1, 4, 1, 5. 1, 4, 1, 5. Because you'll be moving from chord 1 to 4, then back to chord 1, then chord 5. Just like that in that sequence. So you'll just be going like, let me play that as I sing. Ni wewe, that is 1. Then 4. Ni wewe Bwana, then 1. Ni wewe, then 5. Ni wewe Bwana, ni wewe, wewe Bwana, ni wewe, wewe Bwana, ni wewe, wewe Bwana, ni wewe, wewe Bwana, wewe Bwana, ni wewe, wewe Bwana. So chord progression for that song is 1, 4, 1, 5. And so let me teach you about another thing here which will help you, because now that you've known how to hold the chords and how to move through the chords in a sequence called chord progression, I want to teach you how to make them a bit more easy, like your progression, jumping from one chord to the other. I want to help you make it a bit more easy. So this is how you'll be doing it, so that there is something we call inversion. Okay? What do I mean by inversion? Inversion just means that when you are here, like that is chord 1 on key F, right? Inversion means that maybe you're going to leave this, the first one, you're going to leave it, then you hold this, you replace it with this. It is the same thing, because this is F, this key is the same as this, it is the same as this, it is the same as this, it is the same as this. So if you leave this and you replace it with this one, it is just the same thing. What you have done is what we call inversion. Okay? So like now, if you are holding it like this, we say that you are holding a root inversion. Root inversion means that from here, you start counting from here, from the left. From here, the first note that you are holding is note 1. Okay? That is what we mean by root inversion. But if you drop this, you leave this, and you go and hold this, it means that the first note from this side will be the third one. Yeah? Because you've left this one and you've taken it up there. So the first one will be the third one here. The third will be the first from the left side, if you count from the left side. So this is what we call first inversion. I said that if you're holding it like this, where the first note here, the first from the left side is 1, that means that you're holding a root inversion. But if the third one is the first from the left side, if you drop this and you hold it like this, which means that the third will be the first one from the left side, it means that you're holding a first inversion. Okay? But what if you leave the third one also? You leave the third one and hold you hold it on the next octave here, like this and this are the same key. So you can always leave this, you can leave it and touch this, so that the fifth one will be the first from the left side. This means that you'll be holding what we call a second inversion. Okay? So if you hold it like this is a root inversion. If you drop this and hold it on the next octave, this is what we call first inversion. But if you leave the third one, this one which is the third note, you leave it, then you hold it on the next octave, it means that this one is a second inversion. And that is all for inversion. So I'm going to teach you to apply that inversion on your progression, how you will be playing. Like for example, you can hold it. Instead of holding like this, you can hold like this. It is the same thing, and you can also hold it like this. It is the same thing, only inversion differs. It is the same thing. This is 1, this is also 1, this is also 1, this is also 1. This is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is also 4, this is 4. Okay? This is 5, this is 5, this is 5, this is 5, this is also 5, this is also 5, this is also 5, and so on and so forth. Yeah. What I've done, what I'm doing is just inversion. Like if you're holding this 5, you can leave this and you hold it on the next octave here. You hold this because this and this are the same key. You leave it and you hold it here. It is the same thing. If you leave this, because it is the same as this, you can leave it and hold it here. This one also you can leave and hold it there. You can also leave this, you hold it in the next octave. It is just the same thing. And so this is how to apply the inversions here. Like let us say that you're holding 1. I said this is 1, but this is also 1. So let us pretend that we are not playing on this one, on this is what? The second inversion of 1. So when you are here at 1 and you're supposed to go to 4, you can always go like this, which is a bit more easy. This is the 4th. If you've done the inversions, if you've done that inversion the way I've just demonstrated, you'll find out that this is 4. This is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4. So you just find the one that is more closer to the key that you are holding. If you are here as 1 and you want to go to the 4th one, instead of going here, that is a bit far from where you are, and there is a 4th one here. This is the 4th what? 4th chord. This is also 4th chord. This is also 4th chord. This is also 4th chord. So you don't have to jump to this one. You just go directly to the one that is closer to you. Like if you are here as 1 and you are supposed to go to 4. You are here at 1, you are supposed to go to 4 here. There's no need of going there. There is a 4 here, which is so close to you, to your 1 here. This is your 1. The 4 that is close to your 1 is this. You'll just be moving like that. So, then 5 is just here. See? 5 from 1, if you are going to 5, you'll just bring these ones back here like this. But if you are at 1, you're going to 4, you just go like this. You see? 1, you go to 4, 1, 5. So I'm going to teach you also how to hold your keys on the left here. On the left here, this is what you're going to hold. You're going to hold the root note of that chord. Like for this is chord 1. If this is your chord 1, then the root note for chord 1 is usually here. Because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. See, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So you will hold this as your 1. If you're holding the first chord, which is this is your 1 on the left. You can hold it here or even here, which is the same thing. I hope you're able to see this. You hold it here. Then when you're going to 4, this is the 4th chord, but this is the 4th note. You count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, then 4. So this is the 4th note. So you're going to this as your 4. So you say, then 4, then 1, then 5. 5 is here as a chord, but it is here as your note. Because you'll be counting 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 3, 4 and a half, 5. So this is the 5th note here. So you'll be going like, that is 1. That is 4. Then 5. That is 4. That is 1. Umejawa na rehema na neema tele. Umejawa na rehema na neema tele. So you see, just that easy, very, very easy. So chord progression differs for every song, but the progression that I've given, the 1, 4, 1, 5, is the most common for these common worship songs and maybe some praises. But there are other chord progressions. Some are complicated, some are just very easy. But there is one here which I want us to talk on. There is one that goes from 1, 4, 5, then 1, then 1 again, then 4, 5, then 1, then 1 again, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5. So you'll be going like